Paradigm Review Show, smash action drama film of the summer. The blockbuster's back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the movie theater. Tom Cruise, Maverick, most epic film of all of the new school age. Tom Cruise has passed 900 million worldwide, has the biggest opening weekend in his career. What are your thoughts, Mac?
Just so you know, there's a little update of that information. He made it to 1 billion.
Oh, God, that's even higher. Well, let's give our boy Mr. Cruise a round of applause because that's pretty good numbers. I can't hold this one against him.
Yeah, and something like that I think it deserves for this movie because this is an actual, pretty good sequel to the original Top Gun. So, yeah, man, I mean, what can I say about it? But put that 1 bill into a better Top Gun movie. Let's see what happens.
Top Gun 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Rooster.
Anyway, yeah, pretty much, man. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, man? Shoot.
Oh yeah, it's sick. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that it's the biggest opening in his career. You would have think like a lot of other things that he would have did in the past in his legacy. You know what I mean? Roster. Resume, body of work that would have probably hit it, but I mean, I guess it makes sense in the modern age. I mean, you have a lot, new school style movie theaters and all that, which they wouldn't have had back in the day and whatnot. So, I mean, I'd be interested to see the numbers of how many people go to the theater now versus back then. Although it is a PG-13 film, so I mean, the majority of people can be able to view it in the theater.
So that shows you right there, folks. The theater is not dead. Right? You can still go there. I don't know. I understand, the whole COVID thing and pretty much stay in your home, quarantine and such. But yeah, I don't think that's much of an issue. In my opinion. But honestly, don't let that stop you from seeing this movie is what I'm trying to say. So, or
for sure.
Any other movie for that matter.
Yeah, get out there and see this. I think if you're an action fan, if you're a drama fan, if you're aviation fan, fighter pilot fan, military enthusiast, any of that stuff, you got to get down here. I think what makes the big difference here, Mac, is like we said with films like The Thing, which I actually just recently saw in the theater for the 40th anniversary, is the practical effects. You know what I mean? You're not going to get, Tom Cruise, essentially, from my understanding, refused to go CGI for this film. And I do want to give a shout out to the director, who is obviously not Tony Scott in this one, guys. If you follow filmmaking, you obviously should know that Tony Scott is no longer with us, but Joseph Kosinski, he does a damn good job. Again, I don't think he's as good as Tony Scott. I'm going to keep it real on that. But, man, he directs one hell of a sequel. What do you think, Mac?
Well, I think that's because for someone like him, I'm looking at his body of work, too. Yeah, I see, at least one or two movies I recognize from here. But, yeah, but for someone like him to tackle on, to Top Gun, the most epic freaking Air Force, action movie of that decade, the 80s. So pretty much, and of course, rolling itself now to this, to where we at in this generation now, where we're introducing more of the young ones to Top Gun. And yeah, man, Maverick definitely, is a good, I say definitely a good sequel for this guy, Joseph. You said Joseph Kosinski, right? Yeah.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Basically, yeah, man. For him to tackle a project like this, I'm sure it was a challenge, but at the same time,
there's some big stuff going on here, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, isn't Hans Zimmer back on the score on this one? So
yeah,
this is everything you guys should expect from There's so many like over the top things that I want to nitpick, Mac, but it's very difficult to do because the first film, as you said, is probably the most over the top movie ever made in 80s history. So like to actually revisit what is over the top in this film, it's not really over the top as much as it is just keeping it true to Top Gun mythos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, especially you're following the source material, and that's one thing I'll say that he did a good job on. He really did follow the source material through Top Gun, and was able to conjure a whole new story with it. Just amazing. The transition was just amazing. So I'll give the director that much credit right there. So yeah.
One specific thing, I hope it's not too spoiler-esque, but it has been out for over a month now, right, Mac? Is the intro credits, which I pointed out to Mac and the boys. How it has the 80s style text, and I really feel like that's the new trend because Joker had that kind of legacy retro intro as well. And once again, they did the 80s style word text on the intro credits, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without Danger Zone from Kenny Loggins, the GOAT. So,
yeah, man, I remember when I heard that right after the ending of the opening credit sequence and all that, and they played that song right then and there. It was like, to me, that was like a reminder of the ones that enjoyed the first Top Gun. Like, yeah, we're still here. The spirit is still here. Get ready for a ride. So yeah, it was definitely.
So this got delayed so many times from COVID, guys. Tom Cruise was working on this for a long time, so that was one of the major things too. I mean, the other thing here, I think, which makes it so marketable and promotable, is the fact that there's not any kind of SJW virtue signaling, or it's not trying to teach you any higher lesson about society or any of that sort of preachy BS, which I feel like is the big drag on modern films.
Yeah, it's just Top Gun. How you enjoyed it then, and transitioning to Top Gun, how
more
you
updated. More
how
updated.
You should enjoy it. And like VX said, none of them. I mean, Boss said, like none of them are, those expertisms that they're given, like during this this decade and this generation and such. So none of that SJWism for sure. None of them's slipping of I know that had okay. Let's get the elephant out the room here. We all know that Top Gun, the first one, there was some homosexual views of it, but obviously, that was, to me, that was just like how the 80s were to me. It was like,
for sure. The homoerotic male masculine BDE energy scenes are definitely it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia covered it the best that it could be said.
It's almost like a guy from Miami who haven't seen like enough of that on the beach and shit like that.
Yeah,
pardon my French, which is pretty much a
little about the stonewashed jeans volleyball. Space Mutant, what up, man? Let us know if you saw Maverick. What Mac's referring to is the volleyball scene in Top Gun 1. Where they're wearing stonewashed jeans and a bunch of ripped dudes were playing in the San Diego sunshine. So I actually watched some background on the Looper channel about that scene with Tony Scott, and he said he almost got fired because he spent an entire day filming that scene, and the head of production found out and got pissed because it was supposed to be like in the script it was like this long. He spent mad long filming it like a commercial. He said he almost got fired.
That's actually a good story, though, right there.
There's so many. That's the only thing I would have liked to do is just watched. Yeah, man, I hear you, Space Mutant. That Val Kilmer scene was tough, man. The Iceman, Mac the Iceman over here. I wish I just watched a little bit more behind the scenes stuff on Top Gun 1 and Top Gun 2 so I could give you guys more factoids like that. But I really want to deep dive the making of the film. Hopefully when the Blu-ray drops, it will have making of a documentary with it, because from what Tom Cruise said and all those guys said was like how they filmed it with the practical effects was just like the most like elite crazy filmmaking ever,
and that's exactly what's needed, is just practical effects, because there's nothing wrong with the actual realistic look of it, instead of this some computerized image done by some guy's computer. And
It never works. It never works.
Never works out. That's why looking at it in 2022, is just amazing. You know,
Yeah,
either way.
yeah.
Like
So
I don't care for the CGI. So
let's get into just because there's really not much to critique as far as what we didn't like in this film. I have like 2 points that are, just kind of my things, but was there anything that you just didn't like or thought could be better, Mac?
what I didn't like,
Yeah, with Top Gun
like
Maverick.
like Iceman dying. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
yeah. Well, Iceman does show up in here, folks. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll let y'all figure out what happened. But
Yeah.
that or I mean,
Let,
not
let,
really.
me,
Besides just that, I don't know. I
let
can't
me
think.
just elaborate on that because I agree with Mr. H on this. Like, I guess this is going to be a semi-spoiler. We're assuming most of you have seen Top Gun Maverick. If not, pause the review, run straight to the theater right now, get Top Gun Maverick tickets, go bag it out real quick, and then come back and finish the interview before you get to past this part. But I mean, the review, not the interview, the review is the whole freaking Iceman thing with Val Kilmer. Is like, guys, Val Kilmer currently, like, Val Kilmer, the actor, plays Iceman in Top Gun 1 as well as Top Gun 2, as Mac just said. He has been diagnosed with like throat cancer, so like that's the reason why his character like really can't talk in the film. And essentially, they have Iceman pass away of throat cancer after his one scene with Maverick in the film. And honestly, I gotta agree with Mr. H on this one. It's like that. I think that kind of was in bad taste. You know what I mean? Like, they having his character die of the disease that he has for real. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I think that they could have went about a better way of writing that, if you ask me, or just had him die some other way. You know what I mean? It's like less disrespectful to Val Kilmer. That's kind of my take on it. I mean, it was a little weird. You know what I mean? I agree. That's the one thing that was a little weird, like Mike was saying.
Well, if you ask me, I think they should have saved that funeral to
Top Gun 3.
Yeah, Top Gun 3. But let me tell you my thoughts on that though. My thoughts on that basically, yeah, well, I found out about that throat cancer thing like after the movie.
Right. See, I already knew going in.
And that's the thing, like, because in my mind, I'm like, man, I can't believe, why was it so short? So I looked at, okay, he has that. I'm guessing if they had to kill him off like that, it would be basically just because he couldn't. I just guess, according to the story, like his character is not going to serve longer of a purpose, down the line. So they just wanted to get it all out the way.
But the way they did it, though,
how they did was
the disease that he has for real. Like, that's kind of a little bit disrespectful to Val. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it could have had him get struck by lightning. You know what I mean? He could have died a million ways. You know what I mean? I'm saying I guess they were trying to make it like overly realistic, but I don't really understand why Tom and Val were cool with that if they're friends. You know what I'm saying?
You might as well say he might as well die in the F-16 and all that.
He's a fighter pilot. He's a fighter pilot. He could have got shot or he could have got struck by lightning. Who cares? So friggin' and then also I just say like Pete Maverick Mitchell's love interest was kind of fell flat for me in this one. Like, obviously that's the big deal in Top Gun 1, so I realized they got to rekindle the flame, but that's probably the big Hollywood cliche in this movie.
Basically, it's such a cliche to the point I'm used to it now.
Especially in the Top Gun franchise.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean,
at least it didn't Take My Breath Away. Got him! But it's always funny when
now most of Kenny Loggins' songs just appeared on the soundtrack. Danger Zone was the most epic one, and let's be real. So.
Yeah, you didn't want to do Play With the Boys again for the. Hey, okay, so Mac, how about you, real quick, your comparison of the Top Gun 1 volleyball scene versus the Top Gun 2 Maverick football scene? Which is worse?
Like I said, it's just. They're just trying to recapture the
essence,
essence of Top Gun. This one. And let me talk about that real quick too, because as you can see, like obviously to all the ones that watch Top Gun, big, fans of it and all that. Basically, like you can see in the new movie how they showing some transitions where they used to be, all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That bar in San Diego that you showed me, where they had a piano and all that.
Yeah, Kansas City barbecue. Me and Matt got our pics there on my Instagram.
Yo, that's why I kind of wish
they went back there.
Yeah, like I mean, no, not they went completely back there. I actually like the transition though. It's just, the only thing that gets me off off course on the transition though is just like you said, like the love interest and all that. It wasn't really the same actress, Jennifer.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And not to mention his just who he is and all that. Like basically in the beginning, he was like this had all sorts of energy,
hothead, rogue, renegade,
egotistical renegade, pilot. And then when you see him in this one, you can see like he's been through enough in his life right now. He even lost his man. If y'all seen the original Top Gun, I hope that he lost his man Goose and pretty much
who was his 2-seater partner. Yeah, he's like the radio guy or whatever.
Pretty much, man. And just going through loss in his life, not to mention now older, his friend's sick. He's pretty much put in a position.
Yeah, they're basically saying like it's like his last run for the Navy, and you know what I mean. If he doesn't get this last project that he's getting, indefinite, they're grounding him. Because actually, it starts out where he's a test pilot in the beginning, guys. That test pilot, say a spoiler alert, that test pilot scene back, so freaking ridiculous when he was testing that prototype. That was so sick. I thought that was one of that
stealth fighter where he went.
Yeah, one of the freaking better freaking scenes of the film, of course. And then, as Max said, we'll briefly summarize the storyline for you guys. Top Gun, freaking Pete Maverick Mitchell gets pulled back in to head another squad of Top Guns for basically an elite mission that basically no one could run except the Top Guns. And, you know what I'm saying? He essentially gets pulled in as team lead. I got to say, the whole mission, the way it's described and planned out is freaking so awesome. And most of the movie is spent training for the final run, which you have to see what happens for yourself at the end. But they do end up making the run. And, man, it gets so nuts, man. I definitely – that final freaking conflict scene, oh, my gosh, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, whoever wrote that scene was genius, man. Like, because it's almost like recapturing the action movie, type story. Like
exactly.
Infiltrate, do this, get out.
Search and destroy.
So, that whole scene, along with what proceeds after that and such.
Dude, the whole ending is like. The movie is sick. I gotta say, I don't think overall it's better than Top Gun 1. I'd say. Maybe that ending is better than Top Gun 1's ending, though, because they went extra. They sprinkled the sauce on the ending. You know what I mean?
I mean, to me, I think, well, it's my opinion, but I think to me, they're both equal. I think how I felt.
They're close. I'm just saying, though, even you have to admit, budget-wise and technicality-wise, they did a little bit more in Top Gun 2 Maverick. Well, you know what I mean?
Well, of course.
Because they had to.
I mean, $1 billion. Sake, so
yeah, we could give you guys the numbers really quick. I believe it's let me see if I can get it back up fast. If I'm not mistaken, it was $170 million budget. As Max said, we cruised past $1 billion this week, and opening weekend 126 mil, almost 127, almost 500 mil gross worldwide. It was about 930, as Max said. Worldwide has crossed 1 billion. So guys, it's well worth it if you like you said, if you like action, if you like Tom Cruise. I heard one thing, Mac, that they removed, I think, the Taiwan sticker or flag or whatever from Maverick's jacket because it made the film more marketable in China, and they don't promote anything that's anti-Chinese in China. So due to that, I think it helps skyrocket the gross budget because the biggest American films are always ones that do well in the Chinese market. So,
I mean, I never thought. Never paid attention to most of the patches he had and all that.
Yeah, there's all little intricacies there, and that's all stuff I've been looking up to leading up to this review. But there's a lot.
That's pretty cool though. that he had something like that on there. So
yeah, they changed it though to keep it more neutral. You know what I mean? So, yeah, guys, it's freaking amazing. You guys definitely got to check it out. There's not too much more to say. Oh, one thing, Mac, that I am gonna just like nitpick, like. Don't get me wrong, Tom Cruise is a good actor like that. I like tons of his movies, as Mac knows. I'm a big Minority Report fanboy. There's tons of things that he's done that I like. But I'm just gonna say that Great Balls of Fire scene, like I'm just gonna say that like when they montage like Rooster, who is Miles Teller in this film, guys. Rooster is the son of Goose, who, you know what I mean? He has a dynamic with Maverick due to what happened to Goose with Maverick and Top Gun 1. Creates an interesting dynamic with Maverick and Goose's son, Rooster. Well, obviously, you guys know the scene Mac was talking about earlier at freaking Kansas City. Friggin' the freaking Great Balls of Fire scene they sing in Top Gun 1. Well, they sing it, obviously the new squad sings it this time, and instead of Goose, it's Rooster singing. Like, when it shows Maverick's like reaction to that, like outside when he's just like stunned and he's having the flashback of Goose, I was just like, all right, that was probably the most over the top thing. I was like, all right, yeah, I get it, and like he definitely sells it with the acting, but I'm like, this is like a little too much with like the overlay of Rooster singing it, and then the flashback of Goose singing, like him singing it together with Goose, like it was.
Well, in my opinion, yeah, I think maybe that might have been a bit touch much. Now you gave me another thing to criticize it about.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Basically, at the end of Top Gun, the first one, you saw what he did with Goose's dog tags. Dude, like, it's supposed to be a symbolism, I thought, for letting it go. Not holding on to it, just so he starts feeling this the way he did right then and there in Maverick in Top Gun 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's not really a good way to carry on the message, but whatever. I mean, it's that might be something that you guys might not even notice when you watch the film. Obviously, for me,
him having nightmares about it, that's one thing about it. But
yeah, he's got the PTSD for sure. Fucking,
but just going through, oh my god,
because he's like out on the beach with like the night sky, but his face is just like, oh my god, they're singing Great Balls of Fire. Me and Goose used to sing that. I'm just like, all right, man, like we get it, you know what I mean? But whatever. But that's a very, 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 very small nitpick, guys. For real, like the flying sequences, the trading sequences, when Maverick comes in and he beams down the new guys when he locks on him and stuff. All the new characters are pretty solid, like Mac was saying. Fanboy, Payback, Hangman.
Oh man, dude. Now that you mentioned the crew, I gotta mention this. When you're gonna make a sequel to something and you're gonna introduce new characters, this is the way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
How Top Gun 2 did it. Basically, the crew all knew each other. They know each other since training and such. And basically, now he's in Maverick's life. And you can see that right there was a transitional reminder of how, like you said, how Goose and Sundown and everybody else that was Jester, whoever, just pretty much were all like crew and family, just like them. Yeah. And this is how you introduce them. It's like kind of like already a bunch, but you wonder how they know each other. You know what I mean? Like, what's their history? They really treat each other like how we used to treat each other back in the day, and all of that,
Hell yeah.
That was a very good transition right there. It was just like Rooster being the son of Goose and him having that over the top reminder of like what how they used to rock and all.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is something like the transition was good. Like I didn't hate any of these characters. Like,
yeah, I agree.
They actually were all cool. Like they were all cocky, like some hotshot pilot.
Just like the old Top Gun crew, like
the old Top Gun crew. Yeah, just talking that, and you can see Maverick and oh, stop it! You know what I mean? I'm here to train you guys.
Yeah, because he's trying to get them all to agree to assemble a team for like a nearly impossible mission.
Exactly. So, and Mav being one of those guys that actually been through the dog fights, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a guy
He knows how dangerous it is to try to bring every pilot home,
which is like you said, like the PTSD, you know what I mean? Just all that.
Having flashbacks of losing guys and past missions.
Seasoned veteran. I'm imagining that if he's having dreams like that and all that, like you would be at least like I don't know how you spend that many years in the Navy. You know what I mean? Just
well, since Mac just said that, just real quick, guys, like I don't know if you know, but yeah, I'm like around San Diego now, so like where my office is, where I work, is like very close to Miramar now. And when the Top Guns go out and they whip around like La Jolla, they whip by my office, so I have like morning meetings twice a week when the Top Guns are already like up there. And like when they go by my tower, it's how Tom Cruise always used to be like requesting flyby, sir, and he'd like spill his like senior officer's coffee when he would whip by the tower. Like, dude, they do that to the building I work in every day, and they're like, hey Ross, we need you to and when they go by my building, like I can't hear anything in my office, and I'm just like, I just mute my mic on my meeting, and I'm like, okay guys, I wouldn't need you to repeat that. Like the fighters are just flying by my building. I didn't hear anything you guys said. So it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, I'm right near Miramar where those guys take off every day. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, like we said, things that are amazing: score, action scenes, practical effects, freaking just the whole story is awesome. There's not much to dislike. Very incredibly well made film. Clean editing. I mean, I could see this winning for a number of things, from score to film editing to all that stuff, special effects. Makeup, costume, all that crap,
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, like, if there's any dislike of this film, it's probably because of a little nitpicky stuff, like how we, like,
yeah, for sure,
like the relationship, sure. And I mean, me about the Iceman.
Yeah, maybe right, exactly. Like it's terrible. I mean, they did Val kind of dirty. I think they could have wrote their way out of that in the script, but they just didn't. But friggin', what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, like there's unless some person is just like, wait, I didn't see Top Gun 1. Wait, he's a fighter pilot? I don't get it. Then that's the only way I could see you not understanding the film. And even that aside, like Max said, it is a standalone film. You don't even have to have seen Top Gun to understand Top Gun Maverick, because it's going to explain everything to you when you come in. He's just a captain level fighter pilot in the Navy.
Which Top Gun. Probably going to make you want to watch that movie. So like it's a sequel, prequel.
Hell yeah. So, Hell yeah. But it's freaking ridiculously awesome, guys. You guys got to get down there. Mac, if you want, we could roll into ratings, unless you have anything else that you wanted to highlight or any other points on Top Gun Maverick.
I mean, basically, no, everything was great. The action, the characters, the story, all that. Basically, even that final mission. Oof.
That's my favorite scene of the whole movie.
I'm not even gonna talk about it, y'all. Yeah, but let's just be real. It's probably by far, to me, one of the best sequences. Not to mention what happened after that. Ooh.
Yeah, even more ridiculous. Yeah, even more ridiculous. The whole ending. That's why I said, like, between them overall, I think 1 is better, but that ending in 2 is basically like an unbeatable ending. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
let's ridiculous. Just say, man, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want to see more behind the scenes documentary, because there's a lot of it on YouTube, guys. If I actually find some of the good ones, I'll link them up here so we can all take a look at them. I'll link to the video. But yeah, guys, it's freaking, get down there. If you haven't seen it yet, get down there. No SJWism, no preachy agenda, just hardcore 80s style action, 100% made for the fans.
A movie you can actually enjoy and not discuss. Ooh, what do you mean by that? Or
yeah, just he's not teaching any lesson. Just sit back and go to the movies and enjoy an action film for once,
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy movies like you can enjoy movies and not enjoy some social commentary BS. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I got a funny story for you, Mac. When we went to see it, our movie theater, AMC Theaters, they had a problem and they messed up the previews. So we didn't have any previews running when we saw the film. It was just like some weird, like black and white old school film with no sound. They were just running it just to run something on the screen. And they were like, sorry guys, we had a problem. And then it just came on. The movie just started. So there were no previews. We were just sitting there like eating popcorn. Like, we're just making jokes. Like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? But it just made it more epic, because we were like, all right, no previews, and straight into it. But yeah, you want to do your rating, Mac? You want me to pop off?
I guess I'll give my rating first.
Go for it.
This sort of movie, I I'll give it like how I look at Top Gun. I'll just give it like an 8.5 because
Mm-hmm.
it's a movie I can enjoy. It's obviously Tony Scott. Nobody will replace him ever as the director he is.
So legend,
But
rest in peace.
Joe Kosinski, I mean, from
Yeah,
what
he's
he
good.
can perform, yeah, he can actually do sequels pretty well. He did Tron Legacy. I didn't even know he
Nice.
did
He's
that.
got a bright future then, because Tron Legacy was pretty good.
Yeah, and then mind you, that was a sequel to another good movie, Tron.
Yeah.
So
He's
I
got a
mean,
good understanding of the practical effects mechanics and just how to do special effects, I think.
hey, Hollywood, hired this guy to do your sequels. I bet you he'll do a swell job.
80s, 90s sequels, you know what I mean? So we want to see Cyborg next. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so like Mac, I'm up there.
Don't ever joke about that.
It has an 8.6 on IMDb. I gave it an 8. And I'm with Mac, guys. Top Gun Maverick is amazing. $1 billion in the box office. And man, it's damn good. Shout out to Tom Cruise. Did you see the little thank you message that he filmed at the beginning of your screening, Mac?
Yeah,
That was cool. So
yeah, bro.
shout out to Tom Cruise. Go ahead.
Now I was about to say, R.I.P. Tony Scott, and yeah,
Exactly. Everybody made the franchise possible. It's amazing. Get down there, guys. Check out the behind the scenes footage on YouTube or wherever you can find it. It's super interesting. I know Looper has a couple cool videos. So that's all we got on Top Gun Maverick, cruising past 900 mil. Tom cruising past 900 mil. We are out. I don't know what we got left. I want to try to do the Northman, maybe the Bisping Doc Mac, if you could get a piece of that. But if you have any suggestions for us, leave them below. We do old movies, new movies, whatever. Paradigm Review Show. We're out.
Yeah, I would love to like direct an old 1960s Stanley Kubrick classic. So you guys want to throw that in there, we can. So
Clockwork Orange too. Oh yeah, no. There's a bunch of old Kubrick stuff. I don't even. Yeah, there's a bunch of old Kubrick stuff I haven't even seen, and then I got a bunch of other old retro stuff that I added to my list. So I'll send some of it your way, Mac. But yeah, guys, give us suggestions below. We I don't even know is anything even coming out decent this summer other than Maverick. I don't know, but we'll find something. Until next time. Oh well, we always have the graphic novels, Mac. We still got to get your Fight Club 3 review. So we out.
That will be coming, folks.
Coming back soon. Like, subscribe, share. Peace.